I think there's a fallacy that a lot of people think that you can just kind of whip together a lesson, that if I'll just go in by the seat of my pants and have the Spirit with me and it'll guide me along. But I have found that it takes a lot of preparation. So my preparation is usually 2 weeks in advance, since we have 2 weeks between lessons. I'll start reading the material and I'll go through it. Usually I have kind of just a notepad, or I'll make notes in the book itself of what are my thoughts as I'm reading the scriptures, just anything. Here's a question that came to mind. Let's maybe make a deeper delve into this point. And so then I have pretty copious notes. And then after doing that a couple of times, reading through the scriptures themselves, I then make an outline, and I spend a lot of time outlining, because I subscribe to President Bednar's, Elder Bednar's idea of the whole you overview. So you teach them what you're going to teach them, you tell them what you're going to teach them, then you discuss those things, and then you kind of wrap it up with what you taught them. So my lessons are very structured, and we kind of usually have 3 main points, and so I work a lot on getting those questions right within our main themes of the lesson. I think it's also sometimes we feel that we have to cover everything that's in the lesson, and I try to follow the Spirit as I prepare of what is it that this class needs to hear for this lesson. So we might stick on, like for example, last week, it was on 4 different chapters, we focused on 1 chapter. And so if we can decouple the idea that we have to cover everything, then that gives us more freedom to teach the things that are really important. So coming up with good questions is also a really, really important part in being able to elicit the conversation that you want, because that's the magic of a good Sunday school class, is the conversation and the dialogue, where the class are playing off each other's comments, and that as the teacher, you're just the facilitator of, well, what do you think about this? Someone asks a question, I don't have to be the expert, I turn it over to the class, but yet it's still within a structured, it's not going off on tangents. We know where we're going with this lesson, but we can still have a class-guided lesson, if that makes sense as well. So overviewing is a really important part of it, so the class knows where we're going. Having an outline with really good questions, so I brought mine with me, and I also always put my questions in black so that I can easily know, okay, here's where we are mentally in the lesson. I can go straight to my questions. I don't have to dig to find them in my outline. I also practice ahead of time. I don't know if that's something a lot of people do. With talks and with all of my lessons, I go in my closet and I have my outline that I've worked on that's all printed out, and I give the lesson and have the conversation so that I feel confident and don't always have to be reading it. It feels like a conversation with the class as well. Those are the main things. And then it seems like it flows better because I mentally am prepared to know what's happening next. I know where the conversation is going. And then if we do get on tangent, I can look at the clock and kind of parse it out that way to know that, okay, we've got about 5 more minutes on this chunk. We need to move on, and it's able to. So the preparation is pretty extensive. And I mean, I wouldn't put an hour number on it, but knowing that the more prepared I am as far as what I know I'm going to be discussing, the more confident I feel going into the class.